Welcome to Grad Connect. My name is Kush Raval, and today I'm in conversation with Harikrishnan, who has also enrolled as a GradRight ambassador representing the Memorial University of Newfoundland. Harikrishnan, please could you introduce yourself?
Hi, myself Harikrishnan. I'm from Kerala, India. I have done my bachelor's in technology in electrical and electronics engineering from NSS Engineering College, Palghat. And after I completed my bachelor's, I got campus placement and I was working for a company called Tata Elxsi for 2 years. And I left Tata Elxsi in last December and I joined Memorial in the January. And in Memorial, I'm studying MAC in Energy Systems Engineering.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for the introduction. So today we'll be talking about Harikrishnan's journey to the University of Newfoundland and grab some insights about the university. Thank you so much for taking time out to help Indian students with their journey to masters abroad. So what led to the thought of pursuing a master's degree in engineering?
I would say, like, as I completed my bachelor's, the job that I got, it was in electric vehicle domain, and I
Right.
was especially working on the batteries of electric vehicles. So I felt like if I had a better or a master's degree related to the battery or energy, that would improve my job prospects and improve my career. So when I went through the number of career options, I looked for the masters in UK and Canada, and eventually decided on Canada because that's more easy for immigration rather than in UK. You need to find a specific job to stay back, and I felt like it's better to go to Canada. So I went for courses which are offering electives or courses in batteries and energy storage, and also wanted my master's to be related to my bachelor's degree in electrical. So that all these was the reason for going for a master's degree.
So like you had decided what you wanted to do for your master's. So what process did you follow to shortlist the course and the university you wanted? Like you decided Canada was the country, like immigration is easy, but for the university and the course, how did you decide for that?
Okay, so I started with the looking for courses on my own for the masters in engineering, electrical engineering. Then I created a list of universities that provide masters in electrical engineering. Then I mailed a couple of universities where the syllabus was not provided. I want to see the courses they will be offering. So I found that in Memorial University they are providing a couple of courses on battery and energy storage. That was something which I was looking forward to. And also the other courses was also related to my bachelor's degree, which I felt like I don't need to go to the computer science domain. Like some of the universities provide masters in electrical and computer.
Right.
And that's a combined course. So I didn't want to move to the computer science domain. So I thought like this is a good choice. Also, it's in Atlantic province. It's a public university. So the fees is comparatively lower to other public universities in Canada.
Okay. And like how many universities did you shortlist at the end, and how many did you apply to, and how many did you get into?
Okay. I shortlisted 3 universities. And in Memorial University, there are 2 kind of master's degree. That is MASc, that is Master of Applied Science, and MNG, Master of Engineering. So my plan was to go for master's in September of 2022.
Okay.
So as a trial, I started applying for just Memorial University because they had a winter intake. So initially I was planning to go for Master of Engineering. That's a thesis-based program. So it's fully funded by the university. You just need to find a professor who will be willing to guide you. So I started with sending my profile and my topic of interest to do my thesis to a couple of professors. And like in the time of 48 hours, I got response from the professors saying like they are ready to take me as an MN student. They are ready to do my funding, but I have to wait till 2023 because they have already filled up slots. So I didn't feel like, waiting for 2 years to do my master's degree. So then I immediately tried applying for Master of Applied Science, and I got admission immediately in August. So since I got the admission, everything was preponed. So I decided to leave my company pretty early. Yeah. So I only applied for Memorial University. That was a trial run, but since I got the admission, when I did a bit of research, I felt like this is a good choice.
That's amazing. And like, what all did you do to make your resume strong? Like before applying for it, like, did you work on your resume and your profile?
Yeah, like one of the key aspects of masters in Canada, I felt like they don't check for the marks that you have. They check on your career or the thing that you have done. And for example, when I applied, even me and my friend applied, he had a bit more marks than me. but my profile was a bit more, a lot of stuff further. Like I have published a couple of journals when I was doing my bachelor's, and I was working for a company in electric vehicle domain. So I specified all those points in my resume, whereas my friend, he had a regular resume and he was having a couple of marks, but he haven't published any of the journals. So I felt like, you having any upgrades on such co-curricular activities or such things, I feel like universities give a bigger edge over that, because he never got the admission, but I got the admission. The
So
only
all
thing that
these
makes sense
things
is,
really highlight your profile.
yeah. So it's all about, you have to, like, in my case, I specified my electives that I taken. Like in my bachelor's, the electives that I took was lithium-ion battery technology, electric vehicles, and such courses. The selected courses were related. I have specified in my resume on that. And also I had shared my LinkedIn profile. So in Canada, especially right now, people do really care about LinkedIn profiles.
Right. So what motivated you to choose University of Newfoundland over the other two options you had?
Even like, first of all, this university is located in an Atlantic province, and the immigration process for Atlantic province is a lot easier, because once you complete your master's degree, it's like easy to get your PR. Whereas from Toronto, you have to say, if I did my master's in Toronto, I need to find a good job. Then I have to wait for a couple of years to apply. Rather over here, it's quite easy, because Atlantic immigration program is quite advantageous. And as I told you earlier, comparatively, the fees is much lower in Memorial University of Newfoundland. It's hardly close to 21,000 CAD, whereas other universities was going to 28,000, 30,000.
Right.
That's a huge difference.
So those are the major factors which played in your decision making. So can you highlight on the application process of University of Newfoundland, or also on the scholarships? Like, did you get any scholarship, and what's the process of applying for scholarships?
Yeah, sure. So in Memorial University, there are major two intakes for masters. It's on September. That's the first, like the fall intake. And the second one is winter intake. That's the two intakes for master students. For the fall intake, the application process starts around February, whereas for the winter intake, the application starts around June. And you have to fill in your details, like your bachelor's, your resume, all those stuff. You have to give 2 references. Okay, so once you have given the 2 references, you have to provide their, say, in my case, I gave my company manager's mail ID, and my university teacher's mail ID. So you have to make sure that you provide their official ID, say if they have some extension, say if at NSSC or something. Instead of, please make sure you don't give your Gmail IDs, because yeah, that had a role. Like my friend, as I told, he applied, he gave them Gmail IDs, and he got a reward saying like, you need to give official IDs. So not to avoid such hiccups, I would say you give official IDs. So once you apply, there was a application fees of $100. And once you apply, in a 2 days time, both my manager and my teacher got a mail saying like they have to fill out a form. In the form, they had some questions regarding me. How was I in my, how about my character, all those stuff. How is my English? How is my co-curricular performance? All those stuff. It was a general form. They had to fill that within 1 week's time. Once that's done, then it's the waiting period. It took me almost 2 months. Like I did my application on June. I got my offer letter in August 20th or 21st.
Okay.
So almost 2 months. So once I got the offer letter, it was like, you are provisionally admitted. You have to pay a fees of 2,000 CAD. Okay. To confirm your admission. And the rest is up to you. So in India, I would say like they ask you to pay first year fee in advance in order to apply for visa, to make sure the visa is not rejected. So I paid the 2,000 CAD first to confirm my admission. Then I paid a 90,000 CAD, the rest, just to make sure that the visa process goes smooth. And that rest is smooth. And regarding scholarships, as I told, there are 2 kinds of masters in Memorial University, MNs and MASC. For MNs, you have to get a guide or professor who should be willing to fund you. For that, the thing is like, if you have enough time, you can do that, because it's completely paid. You need not bother about the expenditure or anything. If you are doing that, they will give you 1,000 CAD per month for your expense in Canada too. 1,000 CAD per month, that's a good deal of amount. But the thing is, you have to wait a lot of time. As of now, the slots till 2023 December is taken. Each professor can only guide 1 student in a sem. So it's kind of traffic jam over there. Whereas in the case of MASC, you don't have any scholarship at the moment, But like when you come over here, but at the end of each semester, the top 2 students in each subject will be given a grant of $800. So once you're in the memorial, if you take a subject, be on the top 2, you'll be given $800.
Thank
And
you
that's
for
for each
providing
subject
that.
and each term.
Right, that's how the students can actually get
Yeah.
some funds,
And
extra
you
funds.
need not apply. If you are in the top 2, they will send you a mail regarding your bursary.
Okay. So diving towards the university life, how diverse is your batch and what backgrounds do other students have?
Okay. When I came to, like, I have been to different parts of Canada in the short period of time. I went to Toronto and one Newfoundland. In Newfoundland, I would say the immigrants are comparatively lower, whereas in other parts of Canada. So even in my class, I would say 30% of the students are Indians, another 30 from Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. They are a little lower. And there are, I would say 10% from Spain and Europe, and some Canadians too. Like in my class, there were 7 Canadians, total strength of 60.
Okay.
And there are a couple of students from Lebanon too.
Okay. And like what backgrounds in their undergrad do the students have?
Yeah. So in my program, I would say like a lot of students, I won't say a lot of students because a lot of them are coming after their work. I would say they are in mid 35s, 40s. So a lot of people are coming from India, especially the guys coming from India are already working and they have dropped their work and coming to India to do their masters. So for energy systems engineering, either they are from mechanical stream or from electrical stream.
Okay.
So if you are coming from a mechanical stream, the subjects that offered for the mechanical stream students are different, whereas the subjects offered for electrical stream students are different. Only half of the subjects are common for both mechanical and electrical.
Okay.
For mechanical, I would say they have thermal power plants, whereas for electrical, they have control system and instrumentation, all those stuff.
Okay, got it. So how's the teaching methodology and how different is it from India? And if you could highlight a little about the professors, how they were there.
Yeah. So in my bachelor's, I think most of us in India doing masters or bachelor's in India, you have to go to the university from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That for a whole week. Whereas in Canada or in my university specifically, you have timetable. Say you have a class at 11 a.m. to 12:30. You need to be present in the university only between these times. And the professors are very well versed in the subject. They might have published a couple of journals, a lot of journals on this specific topic. And the way they teach is like they will give you a highlight. You have to work on your own to study. And unlike India, like here, the assignments have a much more importance because they are equally valuable as your final exam. Say your final exam is in 100, like the project grade is in 100, the assignment will have a weightage of 30. So you will be given 3 assignments, each of value 10 marks. So that's equally important as your final exam, first one question for 10 marks, because there is no scaling up or scaling down. So if you lose 5 marks in your assignment, it's equivalent to losing 5 marks in your final exam.
Right.
Yeah. So there might be midterms. It depends upon the professor. Like some subjects, you may have a final exam, whereas some subjects, you may not have a final exam. And for each subject, you will have to do a project. So you will have to give a project proposal, a midterm report, and a final report. So you will have to work on a team. And whereas some subjects, they ask you to work on single. So it's up to you.
So can you tell me about like how the intensity of the course, how intense is the course, and if you're able to manage a part-time job as well along with it?
Yeah, as I told earlier, like each subject will be given maybe 3 or maximum of 4 classes per week, and they are maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours, or that's it. So yes, I'm able to manage my part-time of 20 hours a week. So that's not a problem at all. As long as you don't get carried away on your intention of this visit. You can study. You have to do assignments. At times you will feel like during midterm break, a lot of assignments will be in due, and a lot of exams will be on due, especially on midterm break. So during midterm breaks, you will feel like you are suffocated, but it's easy. It's like that happens. And I don't feel it that difficult to find a job in St. John's or managing 20 hours a week. That's absolutely fine.
So can you like throw some light on the recruitment journey, which companies or fields the students generally get placed into, and what are like the average salary expectations after graduation?
Okay, so for the general aspects of St. John's, Newfoundland, there are a lot of IT companies over here, like that are related to computer science job. The people who have proficiency in Python or CPP, they find it very easy to find a job. And regarding electrical engineering or from people who are completing their master's degree in energy systems engineering, I would say there are a couple of companies. There are a lot of companies called, for example, OceanX, then Newfoundland Power. So they are hiring, but they need specific skill set. And regarding the pay scale, I'm not pretty sure. I didn't go to that aspect yet.
Right.
So I'm not sure about that. And I won't say that's that hard to find job in Newfoundland, because it's really big. A lot of companies are there, but it may not be as big as, I would say, like companies in Toronto or Quebec. That's a bigger market. But as I said, there's only one university in this whole province. So the people graduating from this university are located over here. So I don't feel it's that hard to find a job.
Okay.
It's up to people. If you want to stay in a small province like this, I have heard people saying that this is a small province, there are no trains, there are no public transport system. So that depends upon person to person. If someone is much outgoing, he may feel like moving to Toronto. But others who are okay to stay in smaller province, small life, that's okay to stay over here. It's up to them.
So it depends on priorities of the person, what they want. If they want immigration faster, or if they want to work in crowded towns and cities, or it just depends on.
Yeah, exactly. The major advantage over here is it's an Atlantic province, because the people working with me for my part-time, I have seen people coming from Toronto over here so that they could get their PR from here. But the people who come from Toronto, they have to stay here for 2 years, 3 years. But that's very hard for them.
Right.
Instead of that, if you're doing your master's over here, once you complete your master's, you can immediately apply for PR. And if you are working in a fast food chain, you can use your job because the fast food chain jobs, you'll get NOC-B job category very easily. So you can apply with PR with that job immediately after you complete your master's. You need not wait.
That's really a positive side towards studying over there and working over there. So going forward, what are your average living expenses for a month?
Okay. So right now, I would say if you work, in my case, I'm able to earn around 1,000 to 1,200 per month if I'm working 20 hours a week. And I would say the rent hovers around between 400 to 475. In my case, I'm paying a rent of close to $30, including utilities. I'm having a single room, so it depends upon that. And for the groceries, I would say you will spend close to 175 to 190. Because I'm a non-vegetarian, I eat chicken, egg, all the stuff. I'm non-veg, so if you eat non-veg, it's around, you can say maybe 200 maximum. And for the best pass, it's not provided by the university. You have to pay $78 for the best pass.
Okay.
And regarding the internet and mobile data, it depends. Like for 500 MB of data and unlimited calling, I would say it costs you around $28 per month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a few things you love about the University of Newfoundland and a few things you don't like?
I would say it's a very big, to be honest, this is one of the biggest universities that I've been to. It's so huge, you will literally get lost. In Memorial University, especially in winter, there is a system called Manals. It's an underground tunnel connecting each and every building of the university. So once you're in the university, you need not go to the cold or the outside for anything. You'll be connected to all buildings through underground tunnels. So that's really good when you are, especially in winter, because you need not do that. And regarding the professors, they are really helpful. Of course, you need, unlike in India, you can't just go and visit professors by, out of nowhere. You need to take appointments, but they do really help you out. Especially, they know you are working part-time, so they are flexible on your assignment schedules. You can give them a heads up. So I have such a work schedule. Can I do something? He will give you a relaxation. Most of my professors are giving a relaxation on the assignment schedules and all this stuff.
Right.
And they are pretty cool. And the disadvantage of Memorial University, I would say, you will feel since I would say most of the bachelor students are local students. They are Canadian students. Especially in the bachelors, only few international students can be found. Because for bachelors, the fees is comparatively higher when compared to other universities. So you find very difficult to live in the society. You won't find anyone from India, especially I'm from Kerala. I could only find 7 or 8 students from Kerala in this university in my experience of past 7 to 8 months, because of course, the university has a lot of undergrad students, and most of them are Canadians. So you feel like you are not belonging to them. I feel like if there were a bit more of Indian students, we could feel a bit more like home. So even the events happening, they are kind of Canadian, for example, the games even happening, they are ice hockey, which we Indians may or may not have much experience on that, baseball events. So that if you are willing to learn, that's good for you. But in my case, I don't know to play ice hockey, all those stuff, kind of.
So if you could go back in time, do you think you could have done a few things differently, or do you think this is the right path for you?
I would say this is the right path. Maybe like, I would not have wasted, like, if I could do one of the basic things, I would do bachelor's over here, because coming into Canada for your bachelor's is the right choice. I wouldn't say master's is a bad choice, but you might feel that because, you will get time to settle down over here. Because doing getting to new place, starting all over again, it feels a bit different. In my case, even if you are doing part-time job, you feel like, in my case, I was working in a multinational company. Coming over here, starting all over again feels very difficult. Doing a white collar job, now I have to do physical lot of work. So depends upon person to person. If I could do change something, I would say coming to do bachelor's in Canada might be the right choice.
So you can settle earlier and go on to the right jobs at the right time.
Yeah, and making connections is also useful while doing your bachelor's, because now when you're coming for master's, your connections are people who are aged between 30, like the majority of the age, the connections you get are 30, 35, 40. They're all well settled, and they are not, say, you won't feel the same vibe like you feel like in a youth. That's it.
Right. So any last advice for the students who want to pursue masters at the University of Newfoundland?
I would say make sure that when you apply, especially in Memorial University of Newfoundland, they look for your profile rather than the marks. You could feel that when your professors talk with each other. So make sure that when you're applying, you give the links, like the references of the people who are willing to support you, and make sure that you make the resume a bit more proficient. I would say specific to your skills and why you want to do your masters. Don't copy from somewhere and something. Put your commitment. If you put your commitment, it's easy to get your admission. I would say that. That's it.
Thank you, Harikrishnan. Thank you for the advice. I know a lot of Indians will benefit from the insights you have shared today. It was a wonderful experience talking to you, and I wish you all the best for your journey ahead.
Thank you.